Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining our session today. We hope that you are going to enjoy our discussion on how you can use Google Workspaces for your business. My name is Pindi Lewagwamavundla from SchoolNet South Africa. And with me today is my colleague Ukwintra Sifala, who will be assisting with questions and comments in the chat box. So please feel free to ask questions or write your comments using our chat box. So as I mentioned, our topic for today is use Google Workspace across your business. So we are going to be discussing how we are going to look at what is Google Workspace and how it can be used to post communication across your business. So let's look at now our agenda for the day. So today we are going to look at what is Google Workspace, how can it be used to boost communication across your business? Then we will look at the tools that can be utilized to increase collaboration among teams in the business. Okay, before we start, let me just alert you on the free one-on-one mentoring that is available from Google. So if you have a small business or a charity, please do sign up for Google Mentoring. There is the link on your screen, and we're going to try as well as and paste it on our chat box. So if you have a small business or a charity and you want it to grow, please do use this a free one-on-one mentoring that is available from Google. You just need to sign up following the link, and you will be able to Google will be assisting you, Google mentoring. Okay. I would like to find out from you as a business, especially or in a company where you work, it's either you own a business or you are working somewhere. What tools do you currently use to communicate and collaborate within your business? What tools are you currently using for collaboration and communication within your company or within your workplace? Please use our chat box and let us know what tools are you using at your workplace or for your business to communicate or and collaborate as well as a team. Okay, now we're going to start and look at discovering Google Workspace. What is Google Workspace and what is it used for? How can you use it as a business? Okay, sorry about that. Let me just fix my screen. I hear it's not visible to everyone. Let me just stop sharing and share my screen again and see if we can sort this problem out. Okay. Okay, I'm so sorry about that. We just had a small technical glitch, and I believe it is sorted now. Everyone can see me and my screen. Okay, we know now going to move forward. We've seen our agenda for the day and the free one-on-one mentoring that is available from Google for small businesses and charities. So if you are interested or if you own a small business or a charity, please do sign up with Google Mentoring. We also pose the question to you as a business or as an employee for you to let us know what tools are you currently using as a business to communicate and to collaborate within your business with your team. So do use our chat box to respond to this and let us know what tools are you using. Are they effective enough for your business or not? Okay, we're now going to move on and look at a Google Workspace. We're going to look at what is Google Workspace and how is it assisting businesses to collaborate and communicate. Um, okay. Maybe you can also let us know if you are already using Google Workspace. uh, how are you using it, and is it effective for you and your business? Do you currently use Google Workspace? And if you are, how are you using it, and how is it treating you and your business, or and your teammates? So if you are using Google Workspace, please let us know how you're using it. Please use our chat box to respond to the question. Okay, let's now look at what is Google Workspace. Google Workspace used to be called G Suite before. So it was called G Suite, which is for Google Suite. It is an example of a digital workplace, and digital workspaces enables people to work online wherever there is a stable internet connection. And also it's, especially with Google Workspace in particular, it is a collection of cloud computing, productivity, and collaboration tools. It enables users to create documents, spreadsheets, slides, and a whole lot more. You can also store data, some files and information very safely and securely on Google Workspace. So that is Google Workspace. It is a collection of cloud computing. It will allow you to create some documents, spreadsheets, slides, and more. And it is very safe and secure for your business. But now let's now look at which tools are included within Google Workspace. What is it exactly that you can do on Google Workspace? What tools can you use? We're going to look at some of the tools that are available on Google Workspace, and we are looking at it, the ones on your screen. We're going to look at them clockwise, starting from Google Documents or Google Docs. We have Gmail, we have Google Calendar, we have Google Drive, Google Meet, Google Keep, we have Google Chats as well, Jamboard, and Admin Console. We also have Google Sheets, as you can see right here. We have Google Sheets, and we also have Google Slides and Google Forms as well. So those are some of the tools that you can find on Google Workspace. There are a few other tools that are included, such as your Google Current, which we will discuss a bit later on. But these tools, the ones on your screens now, are the main ones that are found on Google Workspace, and they are the ones who are most popular and most useful for businesses, especially. So now that we know which tools are available, let's check out what are their core functionality, or what is the core functionality on Workspace, on Google Workspace, and therefore the functionality of the tools that we just shared with you. So Google Workspace will assist you to create documents and presentations. So you can create all the documents from Google Workspace, and you can even create some presentation. You can record, analyze, and even present data using Google Workspace. You can even use it to brainstorm some ideas with your team. You can manage the projects that you are working on, and even store files your files safely on Google Workspace. It also allows you to communicate globally, so you can communicate with other people who are out of your business, out of your country, anywhere in the world. You can just communicate with people using Google Workspace. So those are the core functionality of Google Workspace. Let's take a minute now to focus on the first point that we mentioned. We said Google Workspace will let you create documents and presentations. So Google Documents and Google Slides can both be used to create documents and presentations. So let's look at Google Documents or Google Docs now. Google Docs, it's a word processing for Teams. It is a word processing tool for Teams. You can create and edit some text documents directly in your browser. You don't have to save them anywhere or have a dedicated software needed. You don't need any dedicated software. You don't need to save them anywhere. You can just use your browser to create and edit these documents directly. Uh, Also, with Google Documents, several people can work at the same time. So you don't have to be the only one as the person who created the document. You don't have to be the only one who uses the document. Several people can work at the same time, which means your whole team, if you need, can work on the same document, which will make work very fast and easy as well. Every change that is saved, every change that you make on your document will be saved automatically on the cloud, so you don't have to keep clicking save. The document saves automatically. You can work on a single document with team members or people outside your company. Like I said, that you don't have to be the only one editing or working on the document. You can share the document with your team members if you need their input, and then you can all collaborate on one document. Even if it's people from outside your company, it doesn't have to be only your team members. Even people outside your company, maybe you have customers that you want to share the document with, or you have you other service people that you work with, so you can just share the document and everyone can work on it. You also are able to see edits that are being done in your document. So as people are typing, communicating, you can be able to see that, and people can be able to communicate through the built-in chat that is available in your document. They can ask questions, they can include their comments while you are all working on the document. So that is now Google Documents, and how great it is and how easy it is to work on it, to communicate with your team and to collaborate with them. We also have Google Slides right there, where you can also create and edit some very nice and polished presentations in your browser. So again, with Google Slides, there are no special softwares that are required. You can use Google Slides in your browser. So you can just create and edit your presentations there. And also here with Google Slides, several people can work at the same time, so that everyone has the latest version of the document. You don't have to keep sharing the document maybe via email, and then you wait for people to edit and then bring the document back. Everyone can just work in real time at the same time on the document, and that allows everyone to, it ensures that everyone at the end of the day will have the latest version of the presentation that you are working on. You can also work on a single presentation online with your business partners, your whole team, or external contacts. So you can share even with external people, and then everyone can work on this one single presentation, polish it, and make it perfect the way that everyone is happy with. You can control who gets permission to edit, or who gets permission to view the document, or just add some comments on the document. So when you're sharing the document, as the owner of the document, you have control over who will be able to edit this document, who will just be able to just view the document or just add comments, not edit. So when you are sharing, you then give people that you're sharing the document with, you give them permission or rights to do what you want them to do on the document, which is one way of keeping your document safe. It is also very user friendly and intuitive than a normal PPT that we will use normally. So now we're going to look at how do you record, analyze, and present data using Google Workspace. Okay, so we're going to now look at the tools that you can use for recording, for analyzing, and for presenting data. We're looking now at Google Forms and Google Sheets. Google Forms and Google Sheets can both be used to record data, to analyze the data, and to present it. Google Forms is easy to create. You can just create easy surveys and forms for everyone. Then in that way you will be collecting data. You can create custom forms for surveys and questionnaires at no extra cost. You are able to gather everything in the spreadsheet in using a spreadsheet and analyze that information directly in Google Sheets. So once you've created this survey or a questionnaire, then you are able to you use a spreadsheet to analyze the information directly. You can also create a form very easy as if you are creating just a simple document. It becomes very easy on Google Workspace. You can also select from multiple question types. You can choose if you want which type of questions do you want. You can drag and drop to reorder your questions that you've created, and customize values as easy as pasting a list. So that is how easy it is to use Google Forms. Eh, and remember, you are using Google Forms to record information, to analyze, and to present that information. Let's now look at Google Sheets. Google Sheets can be used to collaborate, and it is also a great way for it is a smart, secure, and it is fast moving for an organization. Google Sheets was designed with the needs of agile organization in mind, and all features mean you can tap into the right insights to make meaningful business decisions. It is a cloud-based a tool as well that will enable you to collaborate with anyone, anytime, in any way. Which means you can also share Google Sheets with your team. You can share Google Sheets with your customers, maybe if you need, or your business partners. It is compatible with any external system, including your Microsoft Office, and you can just remove the friction of working with multiple data sources all the time. So you can just use any system that you are used to. You will still be able to access Google Sheets. It also it's also built in on top of Google's infrastructure. So Google Sheets gives you the freedom to also create while you are maybe helping to keep your information secure. So it will assist you to keep your information secure, but you are still able to create more Google Sheets and share them. So whether you're planning an event or sharing the latest revenues for your company or figures, Google Sheets makes it easy for teams to work together. You can also easily add collaborators to some of the projects that you're working on. You can see changes as they happen. You can receive notifications for some of the edits that are happening while you are away, maybe, or while you are not working currently on that Google Sheet. And you can even chat with colleagues or your team in the same document. You don't need to open another window for chatting. You can just chat within the same document, making things easy for you to collaborate and work faster with your team. All changes that you make are automatically saved. So as you make changes, they are saved. And with offline access, you can create as well a new document, you can view it, and you can even edit wherever and whenever you want. So let's now look at what are the benefits that are brought by using Google Workspace. We've seen some of the tools that you can use to record your information, to analyze it, and to even present it. So now let's look at the benefits that are brought by using Google Workspace. With Google Workspace, these are the 4 benefits that are there, and we will look at each of these benefits individually. You can increase collaboration, improve communication, you work smarter, and you can improve security for your documents. Let's look at each one now individually. When we talk about increased collaboration, we mean that Google Workspace stores your information in the cloud, which enables you to share these documents and files with very easy with everyone. You just simple share a file URL, file link, or share documents and file via email. So you can just share using your people's email, or you can send them the link or the URL for the documents for them to access the document. You can encourage teams to collaborate and share ideas. So using Google Workspace will be very great for your team to collaborate and share some ideas. You can restrict editing access for certain people. For example, certain people can only be allowed to view your documents. Certain people will be allowed to comment, and others will be allowed to maybe to edit. So you are able to restrict the editing access or restrict the access as you want when you are sharing the document. You can track all the changes that are happening. You can comment on some of the ideas that are there or the changes that have been made. You can comment by adding your own ideas. You can work with your colleagues across all projects. All you need to do is for you to create these documents for different projects, and you are able to work with your team. Next up, we're going to look at improving communication as another benefit for Google using Google Workspace. So Google Workspace has a number of communication tools that are included in its offering. We'll look at each of these later, and for now, we'll just look at how it benefits the people. These all of these communication tools, but we will look at each of them later. The but some of the core communication tools that are offered by Google Workspace, we are looking at Google Email, Gmail as a tool, communication tool. We're looking at Google Meet, which is video conferencing. We're looking at Google Current, which is a technology to harness deeper communication within the company. We're looking also at Google Chat, which works as an instant messaging tool. Let's look at the third benefit now for using Google Workspace, which is working smarter. You can use Google Workspace to help your team work very smart and not very hard. Because by using Google Workspace, everything you do, it won't be very difficult to do, as it is a very easy platform for you to use with your team. You can collect information, analyze it, and turn that information into insights, both from customers, if you have customers, or from your team. So you can also streamline your workflows and processes, store and manage the files. You can communicate within the Google Workspace and collaborate via one central system. So you don't have to keep opening a lot of windows, a lot of systems that you want to communicate on. You can just use one central system for everything. You can analyze data, create documents, communicate, and collaborate just in this one system, which is Google Workspace. This allows you also to prevent some threats before they happen because with some proactive security tools that are available, powered by Google AL, people can find the exact files, content, and knowledge they need on Google Workspace. So everything that is there, people can find easy. There is no threat of your information being lost. So lastly, we'll look at how you improve your security. How do you store securely your files and your data? With Google Workspace, you can store documents, you can store your files, you can store your data on the cloud using Google Drive. So you use admin console as well to centralize your administration. You can also use integrated cloud identity features that are available to manage your users and to set up the security options that you think are good for your company or for you. That is like a two-step verification, for example, and some security keys to protect your information. You can protect your organization with security analytics and also some recommendation that are within the security center on Google. You can also identify and prevent some threats before they happen. You can do this with the Google powered AL. So now that we know the benefits of Google Workspace, how do we set it up? How do we create an account or set up a Google Workspace? So to create your Google Workspace account, you need to visit a googleworkspace.google.com. Then you go to sign up. This is now when you don't have a Google account at all. So you go to workspace.google.com, click on sign up, or go forward slash sign up dot business from business starter. Then that is the link that you use. I'm sure it's appearing as well on the screen. It's right there, the Google Workspace link that you need to follow. Once you are there, you click get started and follow the steps that will follow. Those steps include you enter your core business details. That will be your business name, the number of employees that you have, the location of your business. Once that is done, you add your contact details. That will include your first name, your last name, your email address as well. Then once that is done, you choose your domain. Either one Either you buy a domain, you use the one you've bought. Maybe you already have a domain that you bought as a business, you can use that one, or a suggested domain, the one Google will suggest to you. Then once that is done, you've chosen your domain, then you can update your business address and then choose your username and password. Okay, so those are the steps that you will need to follow to create your Google Workspace account. You follow the link and it puts all the information about your business there. So how do you get to set up now on Google Workspace as well? What are other steps that you need to follow? So step one, you need to then create a business email address. Create your business email address. You don't need to add email addresses as user accounts. Instead, so you don't add all these email addresses that's for your group, maybe add each one of the email addresses and their user accounts. Instead, you can create an email, you can create some email aliases and group addresses for your business communications. These types of addresses are free and don't come towards your Google Workspace license. So these email aliases, an example would be maybe info@schoolnet.com. The then they will develop some trust for that business. You can also business Gmail will also assist for you to keep your information safe as well. So your emails, they go directly where you send them, and you receive emails as you must, and everything is safe. Gmail works very well with desktop clients such as your Microsoft Outlook, your Apple Mail, your Mozilla Thunderbird, and also when you're using Microsoft Outlook, you can sync the emails, the events on your calendar, and your contacts to Gmail or from Gmail Workspace. So you can just sync your accounts. You don't have to worry about that. You can count on Google's secure, resilient global infrastructure to keep your lights on 24 hours, 365 a day. Your email will always be working, it will be backing up. There are automatic backups on Gmail. And yeah, so it will be working 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 a day. Let's now move on to Google Meet. Google Meet also is a communication tool that will assist your business, your team to communicate among themselves, especially when working remotely. We know that most of the people these days are working remotely, which means they're working from home, they are working from other spaces, except for some are not even coming into the office anymore because we have now the COVID pandemic. We're not supposed to be in one place all the time. We have selected numbers of people who can be together in one space. So most of us are now working remotely. So Google Meet would be a great communication tool among the team when they are working remotely. This is because you will be able to keep your team connected with the video conferencing that is built in on Google. It is secure, and it is there on Google Workspace as well. So you don't need to find another platform that you can use. You can just use Google Workspace, and it's also available on G Suite for education as well. You can so you will use a video to meet, therefore be able to see your colleagues when you haven't seen them in a long time. So Google Workspace allows you that, and Google Meet will be that communication tool that you can use for video conferencing to meet with and discuss some matters. So your meetings can be held on Google Meet. Let's now move on now and look at Google Current. Google Current it can be used to improve communication as well across businesses. You can use it within your business. You can engage with your employees, foster more meaningful conversation, and it allows you to stay connected all the time. You can use it to communicate some ideas and get instant feedback from your employees. You can share ideas with your employees, gather some inputs from them. You can have those meaningful, focused discussions on topics that are important for your organization. You connect with your team members no matter where they are. You don't need to be all in the office. Even when they are working remotely, you can connect. So Google Current is mostly used within the organization. You can use it with the people that you work with or your team more. It is more effective in that sense. Let's now look at Google Chat, which is a direct messaging um, chat for you. So it's instant chatting for your group, and you can use it to improve your communication as an organization. It is also very secure. You can just connect with anyone you work with. You can take some group work to the next level with sharing some with this with Google Chat, because you are able to also share some files and tasks using Google Chat. Google Chat is also offered to the Google Workspace customers at no additional cost, so you don't pay more to have the Google Chats within your Google Workspace. You are able to upload some item from your Google Drive. You are able to collaborate on some documents, on some Google Sheets and Google Slides. You can join online meeting with Google Meet using Google Chat, or you can use the Google powerful search to look up for room members, so you can uh, chat with different teams as well. It is it is also one of the greatest tools that you can use as a business. Your messages will you guys can communicate in real time. So you just send your message and your colleague will respond instantly. You share your files, you collaborate on using some of the files that are on your Google Drive. So everything works up very easy with Google Chat, which is also within Google Workspace. Okay, so now that we've seen we've discussed these tools, these communication tools, let's discuss some tips that are useful for you to ensure that these tools are used effectively. We are going to look at the 4 tips, which is you recreate in-person communication, you stay organized, you create some team mailing list, and you can also set up some projects or team rooms. For example, different teams for different projects that are in the business. So let's look at each of these steps individually now. Step number 1, we said you can recreate in-person communication with your team. There are 4 ways you can use to recreate in-person communication. Those include you can schedule regular team calls and check-ins, and Google Meet and Hangouts will assist you with that. So this is one tip that you can use to recreate in-person communication. Schedule some meetings or regular calls using Google Meet or Hangouts. Connect with your colleagues and teams across the globe. So no matter where they are, you are able to connect with them. You can brainstorm some ideas, work on team projects, and hold visual events with your team as well. And the nice thing about it is that you can join from your mobile phone, or you can use your desktop device or your laptop. So that is tip number 1. Step number 2, or tip number 2, on how to improve communication, you can discuss some, you can use Google Calendar to improve a communication across your team. This will means that you can create some multiple team calendars to track the meetings, which means you won't be missing any meeting or forgetting about any meeting. You can create training sessions, you can even vacations and a whole lot more, because your team needs to know where you are at what time, so that even them, when they are trying to create some meetings or schedule some meetings, they know when how is your availability looking like. So you improve visibility and organization in an organization by ensuring that all team members remain connected through the Google Calendar. You also spend less time planning and more time doing with using the shareable calendars that will integrate all your activities. It will also integrate with your Gmail, integrate with your Google Drive, with your contacts, your sites, and even with Google Meet. So you can always know what is coming next every day using Google Calendar. You are able to also schedule some events very quickly, because if you have also, you can see how your team's availability, then you can just create these events. You just check the availability of your colleagues, and then you create your event very quickly, and then you can just share your calendar so that people can see full event details, or just when are you free for them to maybe set up some meetings with you. So that is how you can use Google Calendar as well. Step number 3, or tip number 3, you can create your team mailing list. Create a Google Groups email, like we said, which will be easy for you to send email to a sales team, for example, or to your maybe your project team, maybe your support team. Then if you create a Google Groups email, it's easy for you to send these email addresses. Send status updates to these groups. CC the group into email so that everyone is guaranteed to get their email and be aware of what's happening. You can share some resources using these email addresses and increase visibility and foster some communication in within your business. Then the last one is we look at how do you set up a project or team rooms. Encourage your team members to stay connected by creating a room in Google Chats, which they say in Google Chats or chats that is within Gmail. You are able to create different different rooms within Google Chats or chats in Gmail, where you allocate team according to their, and then they are able to chat or connect with their team. And then you can also encourage your team members to network with each other using these rooms where you've allocated them. They can share some projects ideas, share some documents, exchange their thoughts on what is good for the company, and create some strong sense of community within themselves as well. Okay, let us now pause and see if we have any questions available. Okay. Okay, we don't have any questions available now. So we have no questions. So please do remember to use our chat box if you have any question or comment regarding our topic today. Using Google Workspaces for your business, for collaboration and for communication. Let's look at now leveraging tools to increase collaboration. Sorry. How do you now use these available tools to increase collaboration in your business? I would like you to think about the tools that you can use via Google Workspace to increase collaboration. Which tools can you use via Google Workspace to increase collaboration is in your business? Please do comment with your answers using our chat box. You can ask questions as well. Then we will look at some of the responses later. Okay, so now we're going to look at the 4 key ways of collaborating across projects and team. Those 4 ways are brainstorming some ideas, sharing working files, make suggestions and tag your colleagues. And the fourth one is tracking changes that are happening in your documents. Let's look at each one of these key collaborating tools individually. The first one, we're going to look at Jamboard. So Jamboard is one of these tools that you can use to collaborate. Jamboard can be used to increase team collaboration because you are able to. So Jamboard is connected to the cloud and enables people in different locations to work together in real time through multiple touch points. So you can create a Jamboard and share with different people that you want to collaborate with. And each one of you, the people that you shared with, can work in real time through uh, using the Jamboard. So working in real time, which means everyone can work at the same time in this in the Jamboard. So with Jamboard, you can write and draw with the because there is a stylus included. So you can click on the stylus, then you are able to write something or draw even, as you can see in the picture there, how a Jamboard would look like. You can also search Google and insert some images or web pages that you want to include on your Jamboard. You can drag and recite some of the text and images with your fingers. There is sketch a box, there is a star, a cat, a dragon, depending on what image you want to use. So there is some image recognition technology that will convert your sketch into a nice polished image. You can share your gems with collaborators. Up to 50 people can work on a gem at the same time. You can add your Google documents, you can add your Google Sheets, your Google Slides to a gem as well. You can also view and edit your gem files from anywhere as long as you have internet connectivity, and your work also will save automatically when you are using Gemboard as well. So this is the first tool that we're looking at, the Gemboard. It is great for collaboration anywhere you are, as long as you have internet connection. Now let's look at Google Drive, uh, which is also another tool that can be used to increase team collaboration. In Google Drive, you can store files on the cloud you can use it to store clouds on the cloud. It will enable you to share some working documents, your presentation, your Google Sheets with very easily. You can also encourage collaboration and work from one central file, which means your team can just work on one file and perfect it without any problem. So Google Workspace provides some flexible storage options, so you will always have enough space for your files. And also there is centralized administration, and there is data loss prevention and vaults as well for your Google Drive. You can easily manage the users and file sharing to help meet data compliance needs. You can use Google Drives to store your team's work in a very secure and easy to manage space. You can add files and share them with the other people or with your team. You can then collaborate on these live documents and files that were shared. And also you can comment, allow people to comment. You can tag and edit documents very easily using Google Drive. Let's okay, and now let's see some of the suggestions that you can use to take your colleagues. We did say on your Google Drive, you can make some suggestions and you can take your colleagues, uh, drawing attention to the person that you want to look at the comment that you made. Um, Users can boost collaboration across all the team by making suggestions, like we said, and then you therefore take your colleague using Google Workspace. So you can edit shared documents as in real time, meaning as everyone is working, then you are able to edit those documents that were shared with you. This reduces the need to send files back and forth, maybe via email, and having everyone editing wherever they are, and then you come back and you still have to put together one document. When you're using Google Workspace, everyone can just edit in one space at the same time. Therefore, there is no sending of files back and forth. You can also suggest some changes, comment with some of the ideas, and take colleagues to increase visibility. For example, if you want a pin delay to take note of the comment that you made, then you can type @ followed by Pindile's name so that they know that this comment is coming to Upindile and Pindile needs to take note of it or rectify if there is a need. You also are able to reply to these comments and track some of the changes that have taken place in the document. How do you now track these changes that have happened in your document? So if you are collaborating with in several number of people on a single file, it won't be easy to pinpoint who made certain changes and when. So you are able, okay, with Google Workspace, to keep track of changes in the shared files by identifying changes and seeing who made those changes. You can also revert to a version before some of the changes were made. So you can just revert and look at the document before some of the changes were made. So Google Workspace enables you to view all these edits made to your document and to your files. You can also restrict some access. You can track some of the changes and improve and approve or disapprove on the suggestions that were made by your colleagues. So let's look at how do you view changes that has happened to your document. The first step for you to be able to see the changes that were made is to you open your file in Google Drive. So you go to Google Drive, open the file that you want to work on or where you want to see some changes. So from Google Docs or Google Sheets or Google Slide, depending what type of a document you want to open. If it's Google Docs, Google Sheets, or Google Slide, then you go to File. You click on File, click on Version History, then you click on See Version History. So you need for you to be able to do this, you will need to be the owner of the document or the editor. So you need to have the editor rights or be the owner of the document for you to track these changes. Then step 3, you will click a timestamp to see a previous version of the file. So you click on you click a timestamp to see which the version that you want to see of the file. So below the timestamp, you'll see names of people who edited the document, a color next to each person's name, the type of edits that they made in that color. So there'll be a color, so each person will edit. You'll see edits in different colors. So you just go to, once you are in edit history, then you can just go click on the timestamp and you are able to see the names of the people who have edited in different colors. Then you are able to see the new edits that are in your document. Then step 4, which is optional, for you to revert or name or copy a previous version, you'll have to click on the version that you want to make active, name this version to name a previous version, make a copy to create a copy of a previous version. That is how you can track some changes on your document. You can also view who opened the file that you shared, what has changed in a file since you last opened it, and who shared a file with other people, and who's commented, edited, or even shared more that file or moved the file from where it was. So we'll be able to track all these changes as well. Okay, let's now see if there are any questions. Okay, it seems like we don't have any questions at this point. So please do use our chat box if you have any questions or comment regarding our session today, where we're looking at how you can use a Google Workspaces for your business to communicate and collaborate with your team, especially now that we have COVID and we are sometimes forced to stay at home and work remotely instead of going to the office. So collaborating, communication becomes very important. As you have to keep in touch with your colleagues, you have to make sure that communication doesn't break and you are all still working towards the same goal as a company. So today that we looked at using Google Workspace for your business, for communication and for collaboration. Please remember that Google is offering a free one-on-one mentoring for small businesses and for charities. So if you own a business or a charity and you want some help from Google, you can just sign up for Google Mentoring. We have a link there, and I'm sure it will be available on our chat box as well. This is where you can sign up for a free one-on-one mentoring that is available from Google. Okay, now that we have talked about how you can use Google Workspaces for collaboration and communicating across your business, let's look at what could be the next steps that you can take for your business, because the aim is always to improve what you are doing at your business. It's always to ensure that your business is growing all the time, and now we need to look at what could be your next step now that you are aware of Google Workspaces and how you can use it in your business. So today's session was just a beginning of something new for your business. So what is it that you will do now that you are aware that we have Google Workspaces, which is great for communication and collaboration for your business. What changes are you going to make on your business, and how are you going to implement, or what is it that you're going to try and implement first? Are you using Google Workspaces already? And today, maybe you learn of more tools that you can use. You can also follow Google so that you can learn about more courses, some short courses as well, that or training programs that you can use. So you can go to Grow with Google SSA site and learn more, or do some of the short courses that are available for you, and more of the training programs. You can also follow us on Facebook. On Twitter, it's Digital Skills AF. Facebook, it's Digital Skills for Africa. Instagram, it's Digital Skills AF. So you can follow us on social media to learn more about the other training courses that are available, to learn more about other sessions that we are having online that are free, that you can follow and learn more skills and ways to improve or grow your business. You can also follow SchoolNet South Africa on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Um, then you will be able to see some of our sessions that we are having every week that are free, that you can follow. Then you'll be able to see the times and the links to join the training sessions. So do follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We have another session tomorrow at 4 in the afternoon. Uh, Please do join us then as well. Follow our Facebook page and Instagram to find the link to join the session. And the session is at 4 tomorrow in the afternoon. Thank you so much for joining our session today, and we apologize again for some hiccups that we experienced in our session today. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great afternoon.